resort for over 4 years, you are listening to the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 181 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. I'm your host Lee, and joining me tonight is Tracy.
Hello.
And Darren.
What's up, Internet?
Hunter is not here, he has defected to Disney once again, but we have a much better replacement for him tonight. I would like to welcome on board the Orlando Sentinel's business and theme park reporter, Miss Sandra Pedicini. Hi Sandra.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. Hunter will be scared if he's listening to this because he thinks she better not be better than I am because she's not replacing me. You'll be fighting, you'll be coming down to fight you.
It will.
Hunter's you just blow him and fall over.
Oh, yeah, this is true.
He's a big gentle giant.
Yeah.
And he's irreplaceable.
Oh God, yes. Yes.
Yeah, the broken
There's only one Hunter.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, well, we shall start off, as we always do, Tracy, with some Producers Club birthdays.
We shall indeed. Everybody get your party hats on.
Quite a few.
There are. We shall kick off with a February 4th birthday for the very lovely Colin Reese. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And then on February the 10th, we have Melanie Brookbank. Jim Craig's birthday is February the 11th. So happy birthday to you too. And on February the 12th, we have John Pace.
Happy birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Now, we've got a non-birthday but very, very special celebration that we have to mention.
We have to.
Our really good friends, Sam. Are we doing full names?
It's entirely up to you.
Sam Bell and Andy DiGenova. A couple of days ago, they got married. And I have seen photographs, a little bit of video footage, and I have cried like Andy did. I'm going to embarrass you publicly, Andy. But Sam looked absolutely gorgeous.
She did.
Andy looked very handsome. The venue was amazing. And we just want to say huge congratulations, guys. We're so pleased you've finally done it. And we love you.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, guys.
Congrats.
I wish we could have been there.
I know.
Yeah. Right, moving on from that, it is time for the great Florean Fortscue's ice cream debate, and we thought we would ask our guest, Sandra. So, Sandra, which is your favourite Florean Fortscue's ice cream and why?
I have to go with the salted caramel brownie.
Oh.
I know salted caramel is a little bit of a fad right now, but it really is delicious. And then, you've got a lot of interesting things going on with texture with the brownie in there, so it's good stuff.
Interesting. That means at the moment,
Yeah.
and we're only into February, but salted caramel blondie, or brownie, whatever it is,
Brownie.
and chocolate chili are actually drawing.
Ooh. Did we try the salted caramel?
No.
We have to go back.
Yep.
No, we did not.
Get on the plane right now.
Yes.
I wish.
I'm packing my bags now.
I'm going to throw this in here, actually. At the weekend, a new type of butterbeer started being served at the new Sugar Plums shop in Diagon Alley.
Pretty cool.
I've got a friend of ours bringing us a slab over.
And it is what?
Butterbeer fudge.
And who suggested this months ago? That's right, that would be me.
Well, we heard about it in October, didn't we? We heard, I think Seth
called it
Kabursky
before
rumoured
then.
it, and then we heard from a few team members that it was coming.
I'll just email Universal Direct all of my lists of ideas because eventually they do get round to doing them. So if they just have them straight off, they just get on with it.
Well, no, Travis was there at the weekend for a celebration of Harry Potter. I know he tried it and he has recorded as a little review. I don't have it at the moment, but I will save it for a future show.
Well, I have seen someone's typed review.
Okay.
And it was just a one sentence. That was it.
Blech.
And we're a family show and I can't actually say what he said.
In a bad way or a good way?
The English-American English divide, I think it was positive.
Okay.
Could be wrong. But
Two countries divided by a single language.
So, all right, so we have warm, cold, and frozen butterbeer. We have butterbeer ice cream. Now, butterbeer fudge. What other kinds of things can we do with butterbeer? How else can we exploit this?
There's they've already started serving butterbeer potted cream as well, I know, so we've got another one in there.
butterbeer
Okay.
boiled candies.
Ah, yeah, like boiled,
Hard
like
candy.
Werther's type things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still waiting for an adult butterbeer as well.
Yes.
Yes.
We definitely need an adult butterbeer.
I think some rum would go nicely in butterbeer.
Oh yeah,
'Cause last year
nice
we did-
spiced rum.
Last year we did the great butterbeer debate then. So hot, regular, frozen, or we'll take ice cream out of it because,
Yeah.
Which is your favourite, Sandra?
I'm going to go with the hot.
Yes. Without a
Maybe
doubt.
that's just because it's winter right now, even here in Florida. But yeah, I'm partial to the hot.
It is very nice. I was quite surprised by it. Anyway. So you can join in on the great Florean Fortscue's ice cream debate by recording us a message, letting us know who you are, where you are from, and which is your favourite ice cream flavour.
Yep, you can email that to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com.
Or you can send it to speakpipe.com UUO podcast.
You missed out
Forward.
the slash.
Yeah, put a / for the .com and UUO podcast. I'm making people work for it tonight.
Yeah, I know. Right. There's a weird energy going around tonight.
There
right.
is.
There is news, but we're not going to do it this week because this is why we've got Sandra on, or at least part of why we got Sandra on. As you know, over Christmas, or even before that, there was the whole thing with Universal acquiring the land down the bottom of Universal Boulevard by the Orange County Convention Centre. So we thought, as Sandra has been reporting on it for the Orlando Sentinel, we would bring her on and sort of get to the bottom of it and find out exactly what went on and where potentially we might go in the future with it. So, Sandra, let's take us back to how this all started with sort of Universal going in opposition of the Skyplex project.
Right. So Universal was, as everybody knows, leading this very intense lobbying effort against Skyplex. And in the midst of all that, as the Orange County Commission was getting ready to vote in favor of that project, it started to come out that Universal had actually told a couple of county commissioners that it had a contract on this 450 plus acres across from the Orange County Convention Center. And then a few weeks later, the purchase was closed. The records show the owner as SLRC LLC. It's an LLC that nobody knows anything about, but sources say that it is an affiliate of Universal. Universal has never up to this point confirmed that it actually has purchased the land, but there are certainly enough sources out there saying that that this is them. So it's kind of, being considered a given at this point that they own the land now and are going to be doing something with it. I wish I had more actual news for you guys, but right now it seems to be a lot of speculation. It's a very large amount of land. Obviously, it is certainly large enough to hold a theme park. I mean, most of the theme parks around here are about 100 acres, and this is 450. So that could easily fit not only a theme park, but plenty of other ancillary uses. Lots of entertainment, hotels, which Comcast executives have said they want to build a lot more of in Orlando.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk right now about how maybe in the short term, this could be used for back of the house types of operations, warehouses and things like that. If Universal could move some of that over to this property, they would free up land in their main complex for the short term. Because obviously, if they want to build a theme park, that is going to take years and years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if anybody is good at using the space they have, it's Universal. I mean, you only have to look at what they've done already in such a small area. I mean, I'm still amazed where they're getting the land to build Sapphire Falls and Volcano Bay in there.
They really are cramming everything in. And with Volcano Bay, it's pretty interesting too, just in terms of how they're dealing with the parking. So it looks like they'll be parking people in their south parking garage and using a tram to ferry them over to one area where there'll be a pedestrian bridge that will lead over to the water park area. So, you don't really know of any other water parks in the area that are doing that. So they definitely think outside the box when it comes to using whatever land that they have.
Yeah, I mean, I always point out as like a prime example of how well they use space as the Hollywood Drive-In mini golf. Because you don't realize how compact that mini golf course is until you're actually playing it and you start looking about, and it's just unbelievable how you don't feel like you're that crammed in, but when you actually look about, you realize what such a small footprint it is actually in.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good point.
So the land they've bought, where exactly is it, Sandra?
Well, it's a pretty sprawling area, but basically, it's across from the Orange County Convention Center. I wish I had a map that I could share with you, but and it's not all contiguous. There are some out parcels here and there, but it backs up to Rosen, where they've got their Shingle Creek Hotel and are doing their own property there, and then goes along Universal. So. It's a huge piece of property. There is one very, very large piece, and then there are some others that are not attached.
Yeah. It's strange because I know there's been a lot of conjecture over the last month or so with it since that came out of what they're going to do with the Wet and Wild land as well, because you think they've got the Universal Orlando Resort where it currently is. Then they're going to have that plot of land where Wet and Wild currently is, and then this other plot of land down Universal Boulevard. And that thing is, if they do build another theme park down that end, that weird thing from a guest point of view that it's not part of the resort, it's kind of off out of the way. When you go to Disney World, you're on Disney World property, and the theme parks are spread out, but it's all Walt Disney World.
Yeah, that's the issue that they're going to have to deal with because, there's plenty of distance in between the Disney theme parks and Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, but it is all Disney World, and you don't really get a sense of the outside world when you're traveling from one place to another in Disney. And with Universal, it's going to be a much different situation because, these are very busy roads and they're lined with competing hotels and competing attractions. So, one person I talked to suggested that maybe Universal tries to find some way to do its own kind of little transportation system, maybe a dedicated bus lane. And, certainly with the Hogwarts Express, they found a way to get people from one place to another and give them sort of this fantasy experience so that they don't have to see all the back lots of the theme parks. Yeah. So maybe they could do something just as creative. Of course, the big problem they would have there is that they're dealing with a lot of public right-of-way as opposed to their own property, which is what they had to deal with when doing the Hogwarts Express.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. The argument from their point of view is it's going to bring tourists into the area, and it's good for everybody.
Very true.
Yeah.
I know there was a big rumour going around on a lot of the forums and stuff that there was talk about a monorail, but I'm sure I remember reading somewhere that when Disney bought theirs, it was $1 million a mile or something to build a monorail. Wow. I can't see that.
Yeah, and again, so many right-of-way issues that they would have to deal with because it's not just their resort or their property. They do have to share.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but if it was monorail, it would have to be Springfield themed.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
That is going through my head at the moment.
It would be perfect. Because I know I'm going to go off topic a little bit, but kind of in that same thing that I was going to ask you about anyway. When you talk about transportation, I know there was a report the other day about is it a dedicated tunnel or a bus lane or something of how they're going to bus people to Volcano Bay when that opens.
Right. And again, all on their property, but they're going to have their own tram lanes for that.
Mm. So how's that? So as a day guest just going to the water park, Sandra, how is that going to work? Would you have to park in the parking lot and then sort of go to a dedicated sort of bus area like you would at, say, the Transportation and Ticket Centre at Disney and then get bussed over to Volcano Bay or...
So keeping in mind that Universal is not commenting on any of this, and all I've had to go on are what plans that they've submitted to the state.
Right.
So it looks like you would drive into the south parking garage, and the entire bottom floor would be reserved for Volcano Bay guests. And then there would be some sort of tram hub there on that bottom floor of that garage. And then you would get into a tram, and that would take you along these special lanes that would run sort of parallel to I-4. Would bring you just south of where Sapphire Falls is under construction right now. Then, of course, the water park is on the other side of Adventure Way from that. And so from there would be a pedestrian tunnel, it looks like, that would bring you underneath that road and bring you up in the area with Volcano Bay.
Okay.
So thinking about people staying on site then, would they, I assume, like anybody staying at Cabana Bay or Sapphire Falls, they would sort of walk or water taxi to City Walk and then sort of make their way to that place at the same, or would they have a dedicated thing there, do you think?
I am not sure how that would work. I'm thinking with Cabana Bay, I think that would be close enough to walk. I mean, it's the water park's right to the south of that. Sapphire Falls, yeah, I guess maybe you could walk over and then go underneath. And there was talk of bus lanes too. So, some of these hotels have bus transportation around the resort. And so that would be another way to get people back and forth.
It's quite interesting because like when we came out in 2013 and we spent 3 weeks out there, the thing I love about Universal as it is currently is it's so contained. You park in the parking lot, you go into City Walk, and then you've got everything you need within pretty much a 5 or 10 minutes walk. The parks are so close together, you can walk between the two in a matter of minutes. And it worries me a little bit that they're starting to add all this infrastructure in and make it not difficult, but make it more of a logistical nightmare for people to go and enjoy the resort, especially if they start bringing, this plot of land that we said down by the Orange County Convention Centre. You add the logistics of getting from Universal Orlando Resort down to there, and then whatever they do with the Wet and Wild property. It's becoming like, we haven't been to Disney since 2013, and I must admit, one of the things that puts me off going when we come back over next time is the whole Magic Bands thing. It's that logistics of, it's bad enough going on that 6 months before and booking all your ADRs for the restaurants, but now you've got to go on and start booking all your ride times, and then once you've used your 3 Fast Pass Pluses, you've then got to go to kiosks in the park. It's just become a headache, and it does worry me that Universal are going down that route a little bit.
It's a military operation and not a relaxed holiday.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. But, if they want to expand, that's really the only option they have. I mean, they don't have any option for land that immediately surrounds them anymore.
No, and it'll work. People I do notice people do like to jump straight onto the negative.
Yeah.
Just go with the flow. It'll be fine.
It will be very interesting to see how it plays out over the next 5 or 10 years.
It will.
Yeah, especially you look, Universal have kind of been the trendsetters in Orlando for the last, I would say, at least 6 years. Since Hogsmeade opened, they're the ones that have been setting the trend, and I've always felt that Disney are playing catch-up. Now, with the announcement of Star Wars Land coming online, whenever the hell that'll be, 2020 is the date I heard today, but who knows? That will be interesting to see what Universal do to counteract that, because that is going to be massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than, I think it is the single biggest property as far as an IP goes. And however much I hate to say it as being a massive Harry Potter fan, it dwarfs Harry Potter.
Yeah, I think it will. And I think that's a big part of the reason that when this land came up, they decided to go ahead and grab it. I doubt they have a complete idea of what they're going to do over there right now, but this gives them many, many more possibilities than they would have had with just that Wet and Wild land.
Now, I heard a story about the reason they went into opposition with Skyplex was to kind of bring attention to the fact that they were being given the ability to be able to build structures over 400 feet, and that basically with Skyplex getting that approval, that Universal could go, well, that means we can do it now as well. Have you heard that at all?
Yeah, although they put up such a fuss about it,
yeah.
It seems that they'd look a little hypocritical wanting to build a 500-plus foot structure now. It's interesting. The zoning on the property now allows structures up to 400 feet. So I don't know how much of a headache it would be for them to try to go above that.
Because how tall is Skyplex going to be? Is that 480?
Right. The coaster's going to be about 500 feet.
Wow.
So that's like a hypercoaster.
When you think about
that one.
how flat Orlando is as well, and you think about iDrive, there's nothing really that tall there to have that stuck on the car, because it's going where that Perkins we hate is on the corner of iDrive and Sandgate Road.
That's a strange place for a structure that tall as well.
Unfortunately, Perkins isn't going for it. That's the one we walked out of 2 years ago.
I know which Perkins you're talking about. I still haven't forgiven them.
I will have to ride it when we come over, but it's, I don't.
Well, yeah, and when it is finally built, you'll have the privilege of going to the world's largest Perkins as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is being built on site, so.
And walking out of that one, too. Most
It'll
likely.
take longer, though.
Yeah.
I never understood Universal's opposition with it, really, because if, like Joshua Wallach said, that half of what he wanted to do was to revitalise that north end of International Drive, and let's be honest, it needs it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Universal kind of panicked because they thought it would take business away, but as a person who comes over for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, it's something I would go out, because Universal doesn't stay open late on a night.
No.
Mm-hmm. And once those parks close, you maybe go for something to eat, and then there's nothing else to do on site, really.
We're not drinking.
Bless you, whoever that was. That's when you would go down and do, the Eye and Skyplex and all that sort of stuff. So I don't believe that it would take away any tourism from Universal itself. If anything, it'd bring people in.
Yeah, maybe some of the nightlife, because Skyplex will not have just the roller coaster. It's going to have a couple of rides. It's going to have a lot of entertainment there. So, there's probably some fear there that could siphon away business from City Walk. So I think that was part of it. Of course, they went around making the argument that if they allowed this structure, it would just ruin the view from Universal, particularly the Harry Potter lands, which a lot of people just either didn't care about or didn't buy that argument because, especially in Diagon Alley. I'm no engineer, but I think it would be pretty tough to see anything from the outside in there because it is so well designed.
Agreed.
It also drops down as well, if you think about it.
Yeah, but it's weird as well because, Fun Spot, Fun Spot been doing a lot of additions and stuff lately, yet they've never sort of said anything about Fun Spot.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just that the demographic is so different that they would be chasing. And also, Fun Spot's been around for a really long time. They've had a pretty good relationship with Universal from all I can tell. Whereas, Josh Wallach's a little more of a newcomer. So maybe Universal felt like, they could push those guys around a little bit more.
Village mentality then.
They're the big boys. I think because of everything that's happened over, like you say, the last 5 or 6 years, I think they've got a little bit of that. I'm the big fish around here, and I want everyone else to follow them. And you can kind of understand it to a certain extent. They've got with NBC behind them. They've got a massive company behind them now, and they're being as aggressive as Universal has probably ever been since the parks opened.
Yeah. Yep, that is true. And, there's a lot of businesses in that area who do depend on them. There's a lot of hotels that get business from them that Universal has partnerships with. They run shuttles back and forth from their parks to those hotels. A lot of these attractions and restaurants, they're all getting business from Universal. But when it came time for Skyplex, you saw the business community turn out very much in favor of that and against Universal. So that was a pretty interesting dynamic there.
There's a question for you then, Sandra. Did you expect it to get greenlit?
At first, no. But then I think as time went on, I was definitely expecting it to be a narrow vote. But I think Orange County and Universal have a much different relationship or the city of Orlando and Universal. So I think that played into it a lot.
Okay. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah. I think you tend to see Orlando much more solidly behind Universal than Orange County. Even when Universal wanted this pedestrian bridge that was to be paid for by taxpayer dollars, it was funded by both city and county. City voted for it unanimously, and with Orange County, it was a much more tight vote. It was 4-3 in approval. So, I knew that there were a few votes on that board that weren't just going to automatically line up behind Universal. I did not expect it to be a unanimous vote.
Cool. Like I say, it's more competition means it. At the end of the day, we're the ones that are winners. You want everyone to be on the top of the game because it keeps everybody on the toes. I think that's why Disney was as stagnant as it was for a long time, and Universal have sort of seen the opportunity to go, we need to be in now And they've been, like you say, so aggressive. You see how quickly Universal are building things, and Disney are now playing catch up because they've rested on the laurels so much, and then obviously put everything in.
Yeah, it just shows that competition it's good for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It is. The problem is, there's times like right now for anybody going out where it's not the best time to be going.
No.
I mean, Darren, you're at the point you've just bought your first Disney annual pass ever because of a lot of the reason because of the construction going on at Universal at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, there is a lot of construction going on at Disney as well, but I haven't had the years and years of going there that I have at Universal. And there is a little bit of angst there too, because of course some of my favorite attractions and the oldest attractions are the ones going. Disaster and I will admit it, I love Twister. So it was sad for me to see that go as well. But so yeah, it just seemed like this is the time to branch out and have those options for the other parks as well. So.
No, the thing, like the fact that you haven't been going to Disney much means you can go and see it with fresh eyes, whereas you've been going to Universal, especially since you joined the podcast, like so much over the last 18 months.
Yeah,
you do
it's
tend
nice
to
see, and like you said before, Lee, it's the salty and the sweet. It's that action packed, kind of experience that Universal gives, along with like the more family friendly, but really super engineered and great rides that they have at Disney as well. So.
I think that was, we were quite disappointed with the parks when we came over in October, and I think it was because we didn't have that juxtaposition. It's all go at Universal. You don't have time to relax as much. They need some dark rides in there and more shows, as lots of listeners have pointed out. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do very many just plain dark rides over there.
No, I think it's funny because you look at sort of 2 or 3 years ago when they brought in the Cinematic Spectacular and the Superstar Parade, it looked like they were going to go for more of that sort of family market. It looked like, when they did the Superstar Character Breakfast as well, that they were going to start looking at bringing in, the sort of your typical Disney market. And it hasn't really panned out that way. They seem to have gone back to what they always used to do. When you think with Jimmy Fallon and Fast and Furious and Kong, they've gone the other way again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But and the shows too, like you said, I just saw Fantasmic for the first time ever last night, and it blew my mind. And there's nothing like that's anywhere near comparable at Universal. And I do understand they don't have the same kind of space and luxury, and ability to do as many fireworks and things like that. And also the Star Wars fireworks as well were just amazing. So I definitely think Universal needs to step up their game in that aspect.
But you think with something like Fantasmic is something that would easier fit into Universal, because Universal's complaint has always been that because they're so close to residential areas that they can't let off a barrage of fireworks, and the fireworks aren't really part of Fantasmic. They're like the little sort of cherry on the top at the end of it. It's much more the water screens and the sort of action sequence and stuff like that, which is something that Universal could look at doing. I mean, I like the Cinematic Spectacular, but it didn't blow me away like the Disney ones do.
Yeah. For a park that is writing the movies, you think they'd have the actors and everything in there a lot more, and those show experiences to be a lot more impressive than they are right now. So I would love to see them step that up.
We need one in Islands. And they need the parks open later. That's what does my head in. Right. We shall. Thanks for that, Sandra, by the way. It's very insightful. I quite enjoyed that conversation.
Well, thank you.
And it's now time to move over to Maureen for another Autism at the Park. And this time she's going to be, because we've got Mardi Gras coming up, I thought I'd ask her to do a little segment on tackling a Mardi Gras. So it's over to Maureen.
Hi, this is Maureen Deal with Autism at the Parks, reporting for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. And today I want to talk about Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando Resort. This is an exciting event that we look forward to attending every year. The different booths with the excellent choice of foods related to Mardi Gras, the colorful costumes on all the actors and performers for the parade, and the concerts in the evening after the excellent parade are so much fun for everyone to enjoy. As far as accessibility is concerned, the parade area and the concerts all have sections roped off for those who need special viewing area for those who are disabled. During the parade, this section is located in the New York part of the park in front of Macy's. In the concerts, it may vary, but a lot of times they're either on the upper right-hand side of the stage or the upper left-hand side of the stage. But check with a team member to make certain when you arrive. One of our favorite things to do when we arrive at the park in the afternoon on Mardi Gras celebration is to have our photos taken with the performers prior to the parade. The performers will be walking around on stilts, most of them in their colorful, glamorous costumes, and we love to stand and have our photo taken with them. My son really enjoys this. When we watch the parade, our family prefers to stand near the horror makeup show for several reasons. Number one is you get to see the parade in two directions, coming to your left and then going to your right. So you have a double opportunity to collect those wonderful beads. Another reason is that it's less wall-to-wall people in this corner in front of the horror makeup show. So if things get a little overwhelming for my son who has autism, we'll stand back a little more away from the crowds, but we can still enjoy the parade. That you'll be able to enjoy the Mardi Gras celebration at Universal Orlando Resort this year. And this has been Maureen Deal for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, signing off.
There you go. See, I added a bit of background music in this time. We don't normally do. I kind of enjoyed that. Thank you, Maureen.
Dancing away. That was brilliant.
That's good, because I know Mardi Gras can get quite crazy, especially with the concerts, especially with the ones they've got this year. I think it's going to be probably one of the most popular years they've done it.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yes, Tracy, we know you gutted the Fallout Boy then. You're not going to get to see him.
I'm going to sulk and pout.
Sandra, are there any Mardi Gras concerts you're particularly excited about this year?
Well, my daughter is a huge Fallout Boy fan, and I like them too. So as long as the grades stay up, that is one that we are planning to go to.
Awesome.
Tracy's jealous at all.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I heard you talking on your podcast about what a pretty big get that was for them.
Yeah, I think it's huge. Because normally they get bands that are not necessarily on the way out, but not as massive. But like Fallout Boy, they are still huge.
I think they're having a resurgence at the moment as well.
Yeah, they really are. Mm-hmm. So, I've got some friends who are coming in from Tampa to see them too. I think that it's going to be a concert that you'll want to get to early.
Yeah, and don't plan on getting out too early either. Right, cool. Yes. Well, we shall take a quick break and then we'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, the 8th wonder of the world is returning to Universal Orlando Resort. So let our friends at Fairy Godmother Travel take care of the resort reservation. They are a Universal Parks and Resorts specialist, as well as being an authorised Disney vacation planner, and their service is free to you. From the awesome Cabana Bay Hotel to those other hotels run by a mouse, Fairy Godmother Travel can book all your Orlando vacation needs, so you don't need to miss the chance to see the amazing King Kong in the flesh. And please make sure to let them know that you heard about Fairy Godmother Travel because of UUOP. Because every UUOP referral helps us to continue to bring you the greatest Universal coverage. Contact them today by phone at 832-284-4002 or toll free at 888-939-642539 or go to fairygodmothertravel.com.
Let Fairy Godmother Travel make your next vacation magical.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Welcome back, everyone, and it's now time to talk to Sandra again.
Yes.
I might as well make use of her, that's why she's here.
Take advantage.
Sandra, you went to, Hunter was supposed to be going and decided against it. So
did you go to Disney instead?
Probably.
Yeah.
Where's he at today? Epcot, whatever. So, because Sandra went, we decided to ask her to talk about, but I know you went as a guest, not as media.
Right.
Which is actually good because I think we'll get a sort of guest's eye view of the event, which I think is possibly the best way to view it, because seeing those lines this weekend, it was crazy.
Yeah, I have to say I was a little disappointed in the line situation there. We did the sorting hat experience, and the sign said it was going to be a 90-minute wait, and it was closer to 3 hours, between 2.5 and 3. Yeah.
Wow.
So, the sorting hat experience is cute. Worth staying in line for 2.5 hours? Maybe not.
No.
And for the expo, it was really crazy. A 4-hour wait to get in.
Whoa,
at
just
least.
to get in?
That's crazy. Right. That's what they were saying. So, the rest of the park seemed pretty manageable, but, for the events, it was really crowded. We also saw the Q&A with the actors at the main stage, and that was a really good show. Pretty packed. There were a lot of people there, so definitely in the future, if you wanted to see something like that, I would suggest getting there early to secure that good place.
Where was the Q&A at this year? Was it at Soundstage 23 still?
Yeah, it was at the main plaza there, right next to Rip Ride Rocket.
Oh, right, and I can't remember what it's called. Darren, help me out.
What's that?
The music
The concert
stage, is that what
stage?
it's called?
Yeah, the music stage.
The Hollywood Bowl, yeah.
Okay.
Because who was there this year? They had Ivana Lynch turned up, didn't she?
She's always there.
Right.
I think she lives there.
Bonnie Wright.
Yeah. Was Katie Lung there? She was there, wasn't she?
Yes,
Jo
she was
Chang.
there, and then Rupert Grint.
Yep, he was the big get this year.
Neville Longbottom
All
actor.
right. Matthew.
I'm blanking on his last
Me
name.
too. Come on, Tracy.
Sorry, Matthew.
Matthew. I want to say it begins with an L. I want to say Lynch, but that doesn't sound
no.
He was there.
Who?
I don't want to Google it.
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and Google it.
Yeah, someone's going to have to.
Lewis. Oh, it's such an
It
easy
was
one,
Lewis.
too.
I wasn't
How
sure.
could I forget
Yeah,
on that?
Matthew Lewis. So how was the Q&A? Did you obviously got to see the whole thing?
Yeah, it was good. It's audience questions, so you never know what they're going to throw at you. So there was everything from the deep question of how this role changed you and the way you look at roles in the future to, who had a crush on whom during filming. So, you got a really good sense of the actors' personalities. Rupert Grint seems like a bit of a bad boy. So it was very interesting to hear all their different perspectives.
Did you get...
I thought Ivana Lynch was particularly interesting, and she so seemed to just love her role and to love Harry Potter. A lot of them were, especially the ones who came in later, they were fans of the franchise even before they started acting in them. So this was not just a job to them. And Ivana Lynch talked about how she had Harry Potter quotes painted in her bedroom for years before she even got the role, and how she's really sort of found it difficult as time has gone on to find roles that really appeal to her as much as Luna Lovegood.
Yeah, it's like I was surprised this year because the Phelps twins are normally there.
Yeah, they were not at the Q&A this year.
They're normally given anything Harry Potter and they're there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost you there for a minute.
Right. Yeah, because they're usually givens. They're there for anything Harry Potter.
Yes.
They're normally there.
Yes.
And it's surprising
I just think they like Orlando a lot.
Yeah, you might be right there.
They're probably out in Hollywood.
Could be.
Because I love the fact that they were such big Potter fans that they actually dyed their hair ginger when they went for the cast,
auditions.
the auditions for the role of Fred and George, and they're perfect as them too.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, when I went a year ago or a couple of years ago, the Q&A was definitely the highlight. In between the actual interesting conversation and then just the most cringeworthy moments possible. But yeah, the expo, I was really surprised people were waiting 4 hours for that, especially because the Sorting Hat used to be a part of the expo. That was actually inside the expo center, and not having that there, it's really, and this other people have said this, and I'll agree with them that it's really just a shopping mall of Harry Potter goods, really.
Yeah, Hunter said that earlier, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious if people thought the expo was worth the wait. There's very little I would wait 4 hours for. So, but I didn't know if some of those major fans really thought it was good enough to wait for.
The thing is, I know from this year and like covering it on the podcast the last few years, there didn't seem an awful lot that was different. Like Mina Lima were there, and it was the same old people. What's his face? Harris, the wand choreographer. It was like the same thing, pretty much.
But with the series that isn't coming out with new movies, I don't know. What do you think they could do that's different every year? How do you think they could shake it up?
I mean, I think, I know Hunters, we were all talking on Facebook earlier tonight, and Hunter's argument should be that they should look at it as being Universal's answers to Star Wars weekends. The crowds, as you say, the lines were that busy. The crowds are obviously there. I think it's something they should do, looking at spreading over, even if it's 2 or 3 weekends, rather than just one weekend.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, if they're really going to make this a long-term event, it seems like they could probably work on some of these details a little bit. Maybe make it a little longer, maybe shake up the events a little bit. Yeah. Bring in some newer things and find some way to deal with those lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I think having more options of different things to do would help with that, at least. I also think some kind of like an overlay or doing some sort of special events actually in the Harry Potter areas, which they don't right now. I think that would really, really spice things up.
I think they do, don't they? But as part of they do like a hotel theme park ticket package thing, and I think as part of that you get access to like an evening party in Diagon Alley, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no,
so a lot of this
correct.
seems like a way to fill hotel rooms during a slow time. But it's interesting, I'm sure for the past couple of years there were a lot of people coming in who had never been to the Harry Potter lands, and they figured they would come down for this celebration.
Yes.
But if they make this a long-term deal, there's going to be more and more people coming in who have already seen the Harry Potter lands, and I think are going to want to, a little bit more out of the event itself.
Yeah, and I think if they come down knowing that they've been to Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley and came just for the celebration itself, I think a lot of them will probably be quite disappointed. Did you happen to see the opening celebrations on Friday night then, Sandra? I
did not.
Because I know a lot of people were tweeting out pictures and stuff that they did quite a nice sort of, I don't want to say eulogy, it's not the right word. What's for Alan Rickman? They did like
tribute.
Yes,
Tribute.
That's the word. That looked quite cool because I know even outside Diagon Alley they did like the whole wand raising.
I still can't watch any of that on YouTube.
Because our good friend Mr. Lonsmart was there as Gilderoy Lockhart with lines of people waiting to get pictures with him.
Yes.
Was he the one we had a picture of in the Orlando Sentinel?
Probably. Because he got like goldish robes on.
Yeah, because Caitlin Deneen, our tourism reporter who works alongside me, she was out there covering the event, and she wrote about the guy dressed as Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yeah, that'll be long.
Yep. And we had a picture of him as well.
He's a huge cosplayer.
He's fantastic. He came, we did the RIP tour at Horror Nights last year, and he was part of our group, and he's such a nice guy, but he's hilarious.
He's not shy either,
not at all.
No.
That's cool. And that's, I think, one of the coolest parts of the event is just seeing so many people decked out in their Harry Potter gear and seeing how many people just really still love this franchise.
Yeah. Well, he was saying that people were, they thought he was an actual face character working for Universal because he had people coming up to him as if he was a team member asking him things like where's the bathrooms and stuff like that. And it's like he had to sort of state, I don't work for them and the bathroom's over there. But yeah, they need to do one of the things I've said before is a way to expand it is, you've got the fan communities out there. We've had people on from Ascendio and LeakyCon, and I think to reach out to those fan groups to be part of a celebration of Harry Potter would be the perfect idea. I mean, I know a lot of the MuggleNet staff were down there for it anyway, and I don't understand why they've never reached out to those sort of fan organisations and tried to work something out with them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, when you even to help organise it, who's going to know better of how to run a Harry Potter expo than these fan groups who've been doing it for years.
Right.
But Darren, did you go last year, Darren, or not?
I went last year during the celebration celebration. We didn't actually participate in any of the events because of the lines and things like that. The year I went originally, I had a media pass to go, so that made everything easy, very easy. Just being able to walk in and experience everything. But yeah, after seeing it that time and knowing that everything was relatively the same, I did not want to wait in the lines for that long for that.
No, I can't say blame you.
4 hours to get into that expo is crazy. And it's not, like, Darren, what is usually in there? Isn't that where they have the big thing on the wall where people can sign their names and that?
Correct, yeah. They've got the big thing where you sign your name on the wall, which I believe is switched out every day. So I'm guessing that just goes in the garbage at the end of the day because they definitely don't post them anywhere or do anything with them. Then you've got Mina Lima with the poster reproductions, which are awesome. They look amazing, but I don't think the average theme park goer has the money to spend on them.
No.
It's nice to see them and wish for them, and then the center area of it was just merchandise, just different house merchandise and that kind of thing. Nothing really exclusive. I know this year they did like a pin and a lanyard for it. But nothing exclusive merchandise wise the year I went. Then also they had this was right before Diagon Alley and Gringotts opened. They had the Gringotts Bank scene that you could take your picture in. And then like I said, the wand demonstration and that kind of thing. And that was it in the whole in the sorting hat, excuse me. But that has been moved off to the side. And that was it. It's a relatively, it's not a huge sound stage that they put it in either. So I think that also causes the problem of the long wait is because you could only have a very limited number of people in there at a time.
Right.
It's a great area when they do media events and things like that for a small group of media. But when you're dealing with crowds like this, I think it really needs to be expanded. They also had some like clothing displays, and I would like to have seen that more props from the actual movies as well. I think that's something that they could expand on because they did have like the main hero outfits and that kind of thing on display there. But I think that could really be expanded out.
Yeah, because I don't know whether they had it this year, but they've had some bits and bobs over from the Warner Brothers Studio tour, haven't they? Is that part of the expo? Is that something separate?
Well, I think that was the outfits and stuff that they brought over, and I think that was part of the expo.
Yeah,
it's a very small. It's on one wall, and they had like 5 or 6 outfits.
Where is that, Darren? Like
the expo?
Yeah.
So if you see the New York Public Library facade, right next to that, there's a soundstage that they typically use for, like I said, private events, and they also do some media events and Halloween Horror Nights things there as well.
Right.
And that's where it is. It's in that smaller soundstage off to the right there.
Okay.
And they have the queue running through the kind of alleyway that leads to the New York Public Library. A very snaking back and forth queue that I have to imagine, since nothing else is around that area, gets very tedious to sit in.
I bet. I take it, Sandra, did you go at the parks specifically to do a celebration of Harry Potter?
Yeah, we did.
And then looked at the queues and went, no, I don't think so.
And you're right, Darren, that was quite tedious, although now I know that Rip Ride Rocket runs 18 times in a 10-minute interval. So.
Wow. It could have been worse. You could have been stood in the Rip Ride Rocket queue.
Yeah.
Comparable, definitely.
Yeah, it sounds like. I wonder if they do the same sort of guest surveys as you're coming out like they do for Horror Nights. Darren, have you?
Yes, because someone stopped me and they asked for my email address to get a survey, but I did not get one.
Because I would think something like that really needs to be dictated by your guests.
Yeah,
you would think.
You think how much they do it for Horror Nights. Darren, have you ever had a survey through in email about it?
Not about the celebration, no.
Never.
Several on Horror Nights and several just general satisfaction in the parks, but yeah, I've not had one for the celebration as of yet.
So with all this talk about lines, I'm curious about something. I've done Halloween Horror Nights, but only as media.
Right.
I've never actually gone. But I hear the lines, and I could see them when I was there for a media event, that the lines looked pretty intense there too. How are those?
They are intense. I went the first year the first year that I went, like 12 or 13 years ago, I went without an express pass. Ever since then, every single night I get an express pass. They are very rough to sit in, and then I think the big problem is it's building up to a 3 or 4 minute walkthrough of a house. Typically, you got some of the longer houses going up to 8 or 9 minutes now. That kind of wait for that is really hard to deal with, I think.
We knew those lines were going to be long coming out last year, so we bought Express Pass for the first night and then did the RIP tour for the second night, and then we went a third night as well, but we did Stay and Scream and literally ran to Insidious, did that in 10 minutes, ran round to Run and did that twice, and then by that point all the lines were up to about 60 minutes and we just went, right, I'm quite happy I've done something.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's a lot of opportunities there for Universal to upsell these express passes or the frequent fear passes, so you can come back and experience everything. If you've had to stand in so many lines, you can get to see everything.
Yeah, this last year we did, me and my girlfriend got the Rush of Fear plus Express for the first 10 days, and then our annual passes come with a ticket as well, so we used that and then paid extra for the RIP tour to go with Lee and Tracy when they came down. So yeah, the RIP tour was definitely the optimal way to do it. If you can get enough friends together to do that
you don't actually need Darren, you can do it on your own.
Right, but the problem with that is
it's $1,500.
Yeah, it costs $1,500.
But you don't have to do it with 10 people. You can do it with it's I think it's a maximum of 10 people.
Oh no, I understand that, but you don't want to spend more than 100 something extra on top of your ticket to go to Horror Nights. I don't think.
I don't know. It was well worth it.
Yeah, it was because we had that many people.
It was awesome.
But you don't have to have.
Hey, Darren, don't forget we start to pay for 4.
But you can. There's the other tour as well. Waiting, they just put groups.
Yeah,
strangers
but that's
together.
not actually that much cheaper,
right?
Per person.
Yeah, but if you haven't got,
it's only about 20, and you only get your tour guide for 4 hours, and you only get to do each house once. Not like we did.
You're
we
on a
got
set schedule there. With the one we did, we had full reign. We can go wherever we wanted. We got through each house twice. And then after everybody else left, we had them to go through another 2 houses 3 or 4 more times. So yeah, that was excellent.
I know.
That's definitely the way to do it.
To say how good last year's Horror Nights was, we're completely off topic now.
What's new?
Raymond, our oldest, who was had a bit of trepidation about going, was sat watching walkthroughs on YouTube last night, making himself get all upset because he was missing it.
Time to get a job and we can go back.
Bless him. Right, well, I guess we've covered that. Basically, they just need to expand the celebration of Harry Potter over a few weekends rather than trying to cram 4-hour lines because there's no way. So we've still got a few minutes left, so I'm going to chuck at you. Sometimes we do listen to Q&As, Sandra, and I'm going to throw out, we do a rapid fire section on the end. So I'm going to throw these questions at you quickly, right?
Oh, no, you didn't warn me about
that. No, I didn't. I wasn't going to do it, but we've got
trivia, or is this truth or dare? What's going on here?
It's this or that, Universal Orlando related.
All right, now be careful. I can't express too many opinions here.
Right. Hogsmeade or Diagon Alley?
I really like the ride in Hogsmeade, so I'm going to go with Hogsmeade.
There we go then. Forbidden Journey or Escape from Gringotts?
Well, there you go.
Spider-Man or Transformers?
I'm a Spider-Man fan.
Terminator 2 3D or Minion Mayhem?
I have not been on the Minion ride, so
don't.
I cannot judge.
It's not worth 50 minutes.
No.
Horror makeup or The Eighth Voyage of Sinbad?
Horror makeup.
No competition. No, it's gone. Disaster or Poseidon's Fury?
Disaster.
Zeus Landing or Kid Zone?
I am very partial to the E.T. ride, so I'm going to say the Kid Zone.
Oh. Tracy's a massive Zeus fan. Port of Entry or Production Central?
Port of Entry.
Leaky Cauldron or the Three Broomsticks?
I like the view from the Three Broomsticks, so I'm going to go with them.
The Hulk or Rip Ride Rocket?
The Hulk.
Ghostly Greens
Waiting eagerly for it to
Yes.
return.
Yes.
It's getting there. Ghostly Greens or Planet Put?
Planet Put.
And finally, the lighthouse or the globe?
The globe.
It's a classic.
No, I like that.
I know the lighthouse is my favourite. The globe's classic.
There you go.
So do you figure out, do you tabulate all this and come up with something about my personality?
You're a Universal fan.
You see, you could have, yes, you're a Disney fan. That's what hunters have come out as.
Probably.
Can you tell which house I belong in?
Oh, and I meant to ask, because you got sorted. Right, have you been sorted on Pottermore, Sandra?
No, I haven't.
So
and that's the real sorting.
Yeah, so you got sorted at the weekend there.
Yeah, but that, I don't know, a few problems with the process there, I think. Basically, they ask you what your favorite house is.
Oh.
And amazingly, you get sorted into the same house.
How about that, huh?
Which I guess is giving the guest what they want. But there's not a lot of suspense.
Do you have one that you feel you sort of
embody
more than any of the others? I
feel like I'm a Hufflepuff person.
No, I'm a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, why are you disappointed about being a Hufflepuff?
It's not cool enough for him.
Just because he's not a Ravenclaw like me.
And I redid it on Pottermore at the weekend, and it sorted me into Hufflepuff again. So I guess I really am. So what did you get sorted out at the celebration?
So I was a Hufflepuff, and my daughter was a Gryffindor.
Ah.
They asked her what word would best describe her personality, and she said adventurous. And so based on that, they placed her in Gryffindor. So she was very happy.
Nice.
Well, Sandra, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Where can people follow your exploits? If you give you Twitter or whatever.
They can follow me. It's just @ and then my name. So Sandra, Pedicini.
Cool. And you write in the Orlando Sentinel. How often can we see articles of yours in the Orlando Sentinel?
Oh, it often depends. In print, usually 2 or 3 times a week. But, I've usually got something online every day.
Very cool. So go check it out.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you for being on.
It might not be the last time.
I hope
not.
Now we've indoctrinated you in.
Have you swallowed a dictionary today? It's not the first time I've thought this.
We usually have returning guests.
Now we've welcomed her. It's better. Indoctrinated. Seriously.
We need Hunter on next time. You need to meet Hunter.
Oh, don't he mix things up.
I would like to meet the irreplaceable Hunter.
Oh, yes. Cool. Right, so that's going to wrap up the show. So for Sandra, Maureen, Tracy, and Darren, I have been Lee, and this has been the Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
That's it for another Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Make sure you never miss a show by subscribing on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a rating and a review. Listen to us on Stitcher, Google Play, and all your podcast apps. Email us with any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com, or even better, record your message at speakpipe.com/uuopodcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Check out our blog for even more content at uuopodcast.com. And finally, our sponsors, Fairy Godmother Travel, are here to help with all your Universal vacation needs. So check them out today at fairygodmothertravel.com. Well, that's a wrap. See you next week.